Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ironside cast. With me Matt, we're very free for you all here on Hot Summer's End. We've been on this map before, but let's go through it again. It's on the Eastern Front. Represent the source today, we have Kagabo without a commander. We have RWP, Vander Heiden as Artillery Division straight at the gate. And we have Babelgun as Tank Destroyer straight at the gate. Represent the Axis today, we have DBS Vo as Panzerjäger Tactics for die Waffen-SS. We have General Kaiser as the Wehrmacht without a command choice. We have Arthas also as the Wehrmacht without a commander choice. Let's see how this turns out, shall we? Maybe just do the basic style with both sides moving up to try and secure some ground. Germans pulling pretty far ahead there to the munitions point, which could get them in trouble depending on how the Soviets act. Just quickly getting their conscripts out. Soviets are quickly getting manpower across the battlefield. And they're pretty good at doing. Looks like DBS Vo is going for 17 SS Grenadiers, which is a T-Bow alternative to Sturm Grenadiers. Several of the SS commands actually have T-Bow alternatives to their basic Sturm Grenadiers if you want. Pioneers taking up position here to deal with the sandbags. The conscripts are forming up. Sabers taking some shots here in these Pioneers. The fighting is continuing across the front line. So set it behind this train car, transporting a car by the looks of it. And more Grenadiers from the Waffen-SS is arriving here. We're trying to set up next to this junkyard of vehicles. Yeah, well, the conscripts trying to go down the road here, but the Volksgrenadiers opening fire. There's no cover, but the conscripts got close up for some good volleys. We're gonna see a Molotov or something. Yep, Molotov being tossed there. Denying the sandbags to the Germans, but the Soviets are gonna be in trouble here soon. Ooh, both sides actually looks like the Volksgrenadiers push back first. There's still a lot of Soviets here. Then a Molotov goes out. Sure, the Volksgrenadier won that engagement, but the Molotov still went off. Which now means the Soviets could overrun these two Volksgrenadiers. We do have some more Volksgrenadiers arriving. And the Soviets also moving up in the center here with their Panzerjäger, keeping the Grenadiers at bay. And the Soviets are also preparing for a flank back here with their Panzerjäger. I'm trying to get around the flanks of these 17th SS. Trying to lay down more accurate rifle fire. So lots of rifle fire going on here. And indeed the Volksgrenadiers are getting somewhat overrun here. But the Soviets are able to secure the ground even if they lost a lot of troops doing so. The Germans will soon be out and ready to move out again. 17th SS is still holding on here, but the Panzerjäger is slowly whittling them down. Alongside some fire support from a tank hunter squad and some conscripts. More 17th SS is arriving though to try and take up the front line. Well, the first artillery division is securing ground. Feels like the Wehrmacht commanders need to pick their commanders soon. I don't know how to deal with these Soviets, I mean. MT-34 sending out some of the 17 SS. You know, a very reliable not submachine gun, light machine gun. Sturm Pioneers also moving up quickly. 17 SS Grenadiers on the flank here. Planning to open up fire with their LMG-34, suppressing the conscripts. Let's go allow the Sturm Pioneers to just push up. We do have Maxim arriving. But the Germans can just move to outmaneuver it. Those Sturm Pioneers need to get behind cover. It's gonna be too late. Gotta start getting mowed down. It is a machine gun after all. Sabers on the flank though with some PPSHs. I don't think the 17 SS are ready for this. Indeed they're not. And the Germans are in full retreat again. They'll cross the front line. The Germans and Soviets are taking in on their respective sides. Minefield trying to be late here, but Maxim manages to stop it. One flash being thrown there on the Maxim. And of course, you are suffering losses, but you do kill some more enemies. You also have an MG34 arriving here for the Wehrmacht. Maximum can pull back to heal though thanks to the truck, allowing it to replenish. Looks like the Soviets are trying to barbed wire some of the access points here. You have a machine gun setting up here. It might be an MG42. Yep, that's going to make it very hard for the Soviets to move around here. MG42s are very potent. Even more so than the 34. Artillery strike is being called in here by the Soviet officer, but he might get suppressed before then. Ranging shots are coming in. He does get pinned, so the artillery strike is cancelled. But the ranging shots still come in. Do have a mortar coming up here for the Soviet artillery. The Soviets are still trying to press the point down here, this field point. The Germans are going to have to work really hard to hold. Some good ideas from the Wehrmacht are being equipped with MT-42s to support. It's because how far they move up though, they can't be hit over here. The Maxim opens up. Montevideo almost getting killed though. And Grenadiers are completely pinned. Sappers are not the best spot here, I think. Yeah, it looks like the K98s are working out to the favor of the 17th SS here. But the PBSHs are doing a fair amount of damage. But Sappers have to pull back entirely. Meanwhile, the 1st Artillery Division keeps digging in the center. And the Soviets maintain their presence on the front line. Wehrmacht is having a little bit of a more difficult time setting up an area to fight from. MT-34 is keeping the area covered. We do have a command car. Looks like the Northern Wehrmacht player, Arthas, has gone for... not mechanized, Leichte. That's what it's called. It's called Leichte when you're playing as Wehrmacht. Which is basically a mechanized Wehrmacht officer, or commander. That's why they have the command car here. The 261 with an MT-42 on top. Probably should not move in the way of the Maxim though, because it gets suppressed. Oh, it's calling in an artillery strike. Never mind. And this actually could work. Because it cannot pierce the 261, but it can keep suppressing it. Not sure why he's like to an all channel, but guess what, his enemies know. It needs to not be shot at to stop being suppressed. So he needs to pull back. As long as you're suppressed and being shot at, you cannot stop being suppressed. So he needs to get out of the enemy range. And once he's out of enemy range, he should start pop back out. There he goes soon. Come on. There he goes. But the officer has already got the tank rifle. He's ready. We also have a Valentine tank arriving here for the Soviets. You know, the Germans are doing a pretty big assault down here with the Waffen-SS on the southern flank. And with the Untersturmführer leading them forwards. And with a Sturmgewehr by looks of it. And the Germans are stealing the Maxim. Port HQ has been established here by the Soviet Union. Probably cannot hold that position forever though. Artillery indeed being called down on it by the Untersturmführer. But they cancel it. Probably realizing they're about to be grenaded. You also have a armored car down here. It looks like the Soviets did go for motorized, I think. So that armored car is going to be a problem. Germans are quickly trying to get a pack. Central Wehrmacht players there to pick a commander. The Germans need to figure out what to do from here. They are taking up though. Armored car to move the flank, but these units do have Panzerfausts. The armored car needs to keep a distance. But the armored car does have a 30 caliber on the back, which is useful. Looks like General Kaiser here for the Wehrmacht has gone for Ostdivision. Though the center, not a bad choice. Ostdivision is fairly reliable. Anti-tank present. But the Germans do deny that bunker being established. Explosive unloaded there. Lots of fighting on the flanks. Your Donner now being disembarked from the armored car. Pretty damn good elite motorized infantry for the Soviets. Looks like the Maxim in German hands trying to suppress that armored car. Do a Panzer squad, trying to get into position. Oh, Panzer missed, but hits the train track. Pack is setting up though. I don't think the Soviets have seen it. Now they have. Armored car out. But are keeping all these Germans at bay though because they're heavy cover. Mthis is now setting up with them with a DPM. Should be able to clear out these Germans in no time. Artillery strike is being called in though. The next wave of Waffen infantry is coming up behind it. The artillery will force the Soviets to move. I think so anyway. Not moving. Here comes the artillery. Oh, killing the Odon. Oh, and an end of Mthis. Hakabu is down to barely any units now, which is going to allow the Waffen SS to advance. Because that's a lot of MGs. Suppressing those sappers pretty quickly. On the northern flank, the Valentine tanks remain. There's some Panzer Grenadiers surviving for the Wehrmacht, but it's not going to last for long, I think, in that building. Tag is moving around though. Building's still holding on somehow. We're still trying to hold on here, but he might get overrun. This with the sappers getting close. That might be a dead Untersturmführer. But they get around the train, which might actually save them. Well, up here, 261 needs to be very cautious. But it is a mobile machine gun, which is pretty useful. Pack hits the Valentine, which is going to allow this 261 to have a lot more freeway. Close to on the move, but noticing that's going to be DPMs right there. So it's been called here by the Soviet officer. And if you're focusing up on the conscripts. Valentine on the southern flank now. Trying to deal with the German infantry. Pack did not penetrate this time. It's the Wehrmacht infantry, not Wehrmacht, Waffen SS infantry keep advancing with their MG-34s. Doing a lot of damage actually. Still been calling here in return by the 261 on the northern flank. It's the German infantry start advancing. Let's give the Germans more of a position to work with. Here's the Panzer Grenadiers. One of the two unique Panzer Grenadiers you can get if you're playing as like that, by the way. These ones I believe can repair, unlike the other ones. The other ones are more assault specialized though, I think. They put an MG-44 by looks of it, and a Panzerbüchse, but they lost the Panzerbüchse somewhere. They're getting quite close. That's forward to Soviet HQ. Tossing a grenade there and having to pull back. Incendiary grenade, that's what they... Post Grenadiers are carving for their retreats. And the 261 is doing some damage in that bunker. But down here we have some more artillery going in towards the HQ. Pulled by the Untersturmführer finally, I think. Yeah, denying that forward HQ. Hagabu is in serious trouble. As the Germans advance quickly. Soviets are still in the center though, there's not been as much fighting here. Most of them are just keeping the Soviets at bay and the Soviets are bombarding them now and then. Some of the buildings have collapsed though, to Soviet pressure. Max cleared out. Thanks to the MG-42 I think. And the MG-42 is very lethal even if you're behind heavy cover. You have a Panzer IV arriving here for the division. A fairly unique Panzer IV, only be able to where they can actually swap what kind of shells they use from AT to AP, which is pretty damn good. Like, it can be good against both kind of targets permanently. Well, not really permanently, but you can swap the shells. That's kind of what I'm saying. So it can be very effective against both targets whenever you need it, instead of just having to fire a single high explosive round that costs munitions. Base being tossed here by the 17th. Looks like it might be Gewaltladung, yep. You can suppress now their entrance, so I don't think they should attempt that push anymore. If you're suppressed, you generally want to get out of there unless you're behind heavy cover or have other units nearby to support. Fighting continues here by the center now. The Panzer 4G is certainly going to be a big deal. Also, we have a recon run going on overhead here from the U61, giving the Germans an idea what's going on. Artillery being called in. Pillbox trying to be established. Some ranging shots come in. Need to be cautious though, it did get hit pretty hard by the Mthis. And it's actually immobilized, so that thing is stuck. Becoming an easy target there for the Mthis gun. And the Soviets are still holding on here. Having another Valentine around. We're going in on the central Wehrmacht position. Well, the Cisco is doing a pretty good job as an artillery piece here. Also tossed, hitting the pack. And so much action going on here. Wehrmacht needs to get that pillbox operational though. Actually, that's a commando bunker, which means they can actually call in some of their unique battle groups, which we rarely see. Not looking good down here for some of the Germans though. They're kind of being pushed back every now and then. But Germans are still holding a fair amount of points. It's not that much of an issue. Panzer 18 coming out here for the Ostdivision soon. Help hold the sender. Man, the bunker also being upgraded with medics, so we can heal the troops around. Probably a good idea for holding, but we do have an SU-85 now arriving here for the Soviet Union. So any future tank attempts from the front is not going to be very valuable. And a grenade being tossed. Didn't do too much to the sandbags though. SU-85 moving up there. Not really having that much to hit because there's no real vehicles here, but the 261 you cannot see. But it's a big gun fixed on a movable position, so... Pack's trying to take a shot though. Gonna go penetration there. More artillery being called here by the Soviets. Followed by the lieutenant. Gonna force the Germans to move around a bit. We do have a Stuk F8 arriving here. I think this one can also swap with high explosives. Yep. The center of the Germans are still trying to hold on. We do have Katyushas now starting to arrive here for the Soviet Union, so we might see rocket-based artillery. In fact, we've already seen it now, Farah. It can be quite devastating to all these infantry groups, as you can see. Katyushas can be quite lethal if they can hit. And if DBS just keeps moving their troops in like one blob, it's going to be an easy target for a single Katyusha rocket. That's why when you want to spread your infantry out. If you form me crude on the northern flank. And what's going to be on the center front for the Soviet Union on the Germans? Lots of officers on the field here now for the artillery officer. They even got the Capitan now. Which can call in a huge barrage, I think. Even have British artillery. But Germans still holding on. They have all the units they need for now to hold. But for how long? The MT-42s can do a lot of the work for you. But the Germans have to work really hard up here in the northern flank. And should find us a lot of damage to the commando bunker, actually. Not good shot there from the pack gun to the S-35. If it needs to be quite cautious, it's not that durable. It's got decent frontal armor, but its durability is not that high if it gets penetrated. Again, the Waffen-SS is trying to push up in a blob, which is not really working that well for them. Position firing us again, and that's why you don't really blob up with your infantry. Because stuff like that can happen. Artillery being called in here on the central flank. More artillery up here. This might be the Capitan, actually. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a big rush. This is a big Capitan barrage going in. Soviet artillery can be quite devastating. Water Halftrack has arrived. But Germans are certainly being on the back foot now, so Soviets started to advance. The Soviet steamroller is beginning with us. Still a lack of Soviet vehicles. I guess they don't really need it. We have a KV-8 arriving here for the center. An MChS in the southern flank. Of course, the Katyushas remain an overarching threat. And we do have a command Stuka ramming here for the Waffen-SS. How well will that hold is the question. Well, so far it's destroying a bunker. It's just a blurred bunker, so not that big of a deal. MChS shows itself. Machine guns sweeping forward, and more artillery being called in here, again this time by lieutenants. But it is forcing an opening which the Soviets can make use of. And the Soviets starting to make some space now. But the Germans need to get some heavy equipment out. We are seeing some more specialized infantry being prepared by the Wehrmacht in the center now. From 25th and some 78th. There's a lack of infantry at the southern flank, but the Katyushas are doing their thing, I guess. They flatten most of the ground around here. Doing something right, I guess. But the Wehrmacht at the northern flank is in full retreat. Realize they cannot hold that flank so easily. Just gonna allow the Soviets to get a lot more ground to work with.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Mountain tank pushing up. And again, the German infantry blobbing up is not just making it easy for the Soviets to kill them. Mountain tank might be in trouble. Yep, got hit pretty hard there. There we go, Valentine taken out, but the MChS now advancing. Took a big hit there. Critical hit, no less. Master pushing up, but that's a bad idea. Makes it a much easier target. You want to stay at range with some German vehicles for the most part. KV-8 showing up now. Ooh, it's gonna stun that Panzer IV-H. Panzerfaust are not available yet. It's aiming for the 78th. And it's Singeras. Did someone drop? Someone might have dropped in raids, but it does look like it might be the end of the fight soon. Let me just make sure here. Yep, okay, yes, it looks like someone dropped. Well, yeah, it looks like it might have been a Soviet victory, this one. Well, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you next one, everyone. Bye-bye.